Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
Well, good morning, you guys. A story all about reclaiming your identity outside of an infamous relationship. That's what happens in Six, the musical, on stage at Bass Concert Hall this week. And joining us now is actress Emma Elizabeth Smith, who plays Catherine at Aragon. Good morning. How are you?
I'm so great. Thank you.
Of course, we're excited to have you here. So, okay, Six. This is such an interesting concept. If people are not familiar, kind of give us the skinny on what Six is about.
Yeah, so Six essentially is a pop concert retelling the story of Henry VIII's 6 wives. It is fast-paced. It is 90 minutes. You're in and you're out. And I like to say it's Spice Girls meets Power Rangers. Everyone is their own individual identity. The costumes are color coordinated and very individualized, which is super exciting. It is just a fun time.
My wife and I saw the show last night, and I think you just like said it so perfectly. Because what I love is we really get time with each character, which I think is interesting. You don't always get that in a show. Everyone gets their time to shine. And as I mentioned, you play Catherine of Aragon, the first wife. And so what has this role meant to you, and maybe what attracted you to this role initially?
I think her strength is really something I always go back to. She's known as the warrior queen, actually, and her costume is actually based off of an armor that was like during the time, which is really cool. And she just demands respect, and I really found that in myself through this character. And I think every night having the weight of keeping the show moving forward and like starting it off and setting the tone is really, really exciting. I've just loved doing the role. I think all of her scene work and the banter she has, especially with Anne Boleyn's character, is so fun.
It is fun.
She's just a good time. She doesn't play. She doesn't let a lot of stuff slide either.
Right, And she's the one from Spain, right? Okay, so did you feel like did you do any kind of research on maybe what like her background would have been like at the time to kind of get that Spanish influence?
I think mainly the thing is that her Catholicism was huge, and that influence and how Anne came in and really was shifting that.
Sure.
And that is the main thing that kept her so popular within the country, is that everyone wanted to be under the Catholic Church, but Henry wanted Anne more. But she was still remained the most popular by the people, which I think is a testament to her character.
Which I think is so cool. And like to be able to stand in your own strength like that, I think is really huge. Now, I was talking to you about this before the show, but something I really love about Six is that it's an all-female cast and all-female band. So for you, what's that experience like? Because I was like, to be in your 20s and get to be part of that experience, I gotta imagine it's pretty special.
Yeah, it's so different. It's so unique. And I think the intimacy of our companies, there's being 4 band members and then 10 total in the cast, including our amazing alternates. It's really cool to see not only all these different women stepping into these characters, but also what each person brings to the role when they step in, especially the alts who cover up to 3 different queens. Each one is just a totally different version.
3 different queens? That's crazy.
So I don't even know how their brains function. I really could never. They make the world go round. It's really cool to have your moment and like really share your story, but then also like the importance of backing up other women and sharing their stories, and how we switch throughout the show in supporting each other through storytelling. It's really cool.
Tell me a little about prepping for the vocals of this show, because it is such a range, and you guys go from really high intensity to more kind of ballad-like, if you will, and everything in between. And as I said, everyone gets their own song, but then you also do a lot of backing vocals. It's like, it's a marathon, I feel like, of vocals for a singer.
Yeah, for sure. It's so fun. I love the music. The music obviously is incredible. We have a music supervisor. Her name is Roberta, and she just works magic with us. A lot of it is about blending and listening, but we wear in-ears on stage because it is so loud. So we have like raw feed of everyone's vocals, and fortunately it's like mixed really well, so it sounds nicer to us. But it's definitely a cool way to switch between styles. But I have a lot of fun with it. I think when it comes to the preparation, I what to say, it really is about consistency and getting your reps in. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
Like, we drill the show. It is a machine. Once you get on the roller coaster, it doesn't stop. So,
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Totally.
Well, because on top of the vocals, it's also very high intense dancing the
Totally.
entire time. Like, was that something that you were nervous about, or is like dancing like
for sure.
natural for you? Like, how does that kind of work? I guess.
I mean, I trained in dance in school,
Sure.
but singing and acting was definitely more so my comfort place.
Yeah.
However, like, this show has really pushed me to really fall in love with dancing in that way, which I never thought I would say.
Yeah.
And I think there's part with like being in the ensemble with it. Like, I love doing ensemble dancing.
Yeah.
Like, don't make me do it solo, but I love it. But it's funny too that like my song out of all the queens is like the one with like all these dance breaks. I'm like,
Right.
of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, that's been fun, but like I wore like a weighted vest in rehearsals because my costume is pretty heavy, so like training for that. My costume also eats up a lot of like movement that I would have like in my rehearsal clothes.
Yeah.
So that was an adjustment, but yeah, the dance is super fun, and also a variety of styles throughout the show.
Right, but safe to say this role's probably pushed you outside of your comfort zone in a lot of
Beyond,
ways.
yeah. I mean, it really has pushed me in every direction, and yeah, that's where like building up my stamina for my song, because when I'm not singing, I'm dancing and like learning where and when to breathe, and also being in plastic, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah,
it
lots
was
of things
crazy.
happening at once.
Totally.
Yeah, and I'm like not a multitasker at all, so that would be hard for me. Now, real quick, we know that you're a Texas State grad, so what's it like for you being back in Central Texas getting to
It's
perform?
incredible. I can't believe it. I used to walk on the treadmill at the rec in Texas State and watch Six and like just dream of being in the show. And so to be back here doing this show specifically, it really is so special. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I still pinch myself every day going to work that this is my life. So it's really a blessing. But yeah, I love it here. I'm so happy, and I'm so grateful to see people from my program, see faculty, and just celebrate with them. And I get to go to San Marcos on Friday and hang out with the kids.
That's so
and
exciting. Yes, yeah. Well, it's a
Great.
great role that you play. It's a great show. Emma, thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
Of
We
course.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having me.
And you have until Sunday to see the show. So for more information and tickets to Six, visit BroadwayInAustin.com.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by The Bugmaster. Rodent issues can cause costly disruptions for businesses, and winter is when vigilance is most important. CEO Dauphin Ewart of The Bugmaster is here to talk about his commercial services. Dauphin, what sort of businesses get hit harder with rodent populations during the winter?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we see them in all kinds of places, but usually areas that have a lot of food, because the food is very interesting to rodents. We'll see also, businesses along waterways can see more activity, because those are areas where your wildlife populations are going to be a little bit higher just naturally. It's really all kinds of businesses that can have these sort of problems, whether it's from landscaping. Businesses also usually have bigger areas where there's dumpsters and things that are really helpful for rodents in their day-to-day life.
Okay, so what should businesses be doing now to prepare for winter rodent activity?
Yeah, so it's a great question, and we always recommend that businesses in particular have an ongoing rodent monitoring program. One of the things that most people probably don't even notice that's around most businesses that you see are rodent monitoring stations. And so those stations have some indicators inside of them that tell us as professionals whether there's activity, kind of where that activity is coming from. And that helps us know what to do to help that business manage that risk.
Really inconspicuous if you've got those up and moving, and we just pass by them.
It's true, yeah, and that is the intention. We don't want things to be, disruptive, and it's a normal part of the environment, and we just want to make sure that the businesses and the human health gets protected.
Gotcha. Okay, so how do you help businesses stay protected long term?
Yeah, so what we really like to do is to take an approach where we maintain monitoring. Monitoring kind of tells us the level of activity around. which also helps us understand where we may need to look most closely to see where that building might be vulnerable, whether it's got access points that wildlife might be able to get into. And then we want to seal those up as quickly as possible to make sure that the business is aware of all the things that can be done to make sure it gets protected long term.
I know you guys are constantly vigilant. So thank you, Dauphin, for your time.
Thank you.
To start a quote with a quick response time, go to thebugmaster.com or call the number on your screen. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by the Bugmaster.
Every week, we introduce you to a new furry friend looking for their forever home and our pet of the week. And this time around, we're joined by Kimberly White Erlinger with Austin Animal Services, who brought in this sweet pup. You guys, literally the sweetest ever, Mr. Radar. So Kim, how are you? So good to see you.
Great. Happy New Year. Good to see you too.
Happy New Year. I know. Okay, so tell us all about Radar, because truly he has been the best dog just hanging out here with us.
He's just been hanging out.
Yeah.
He's so mellow, right? And
Very
he's only
mellow.
2.
Yeah.
So he's got an old soul in this little
Two,
young body.
that's a great age.
He's 2, exactly.
Yeah.
And he's honestly, you guys, he is perfect. He is just the sweetest dog. So he's a 2-year-old boy.
Okay.
He's a pity mix, which we have obviously a whole bunch of.
Sure.
Someone unfortunately chopped off his ears, so he looks like a seal.
I didn't even notice.
But
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
his ears have been chopped off by somebody, which is unfortunate. But he's just beautiful and calm. He's house trained. He loves to give kisses. He loves toys. He loves the play yard. He loves going on walks. He was fantastic in my car.
Yeah.
Coming here. We were told that he was afraid of stairs. Well, we learned today that he came up the stairs here perfectly. So,
I love that
it's such a
our
little-
station here has become like a stair kind of like
a
experience for all the dogs
Yeah,
that
it's a
come through.
testing
Yes,
ground.
it's
It's a
very
testing
it's
ground.
very funny
Yeah.
for all of them. We
Yeah.
never know how they're going to react. So I
I know,
love that.
but
Yeah.
he did great. So he's at least good with carpeted stairs.
Yeah.
We know that.
There you
So
go. That's
I'm very
good.
proud of
so
him.
sounds like maybe a more active family or active owner would be good for him.
Yeah, I think he would be great with an active owner. He has shown up, he has gone to playgroup and he did really well.
Okay.
He has shown a little bit of sort of anxiety and reactivity when he leaves his kennel at the shelter, but a really lovely volunteer took him to Mueller with all of the, chaos and the markets and all that
Sure.
stuff. And he did great with the other dogs.
love
He
that.
walked past them. He looked to his to her for more treats, her and her son for more treats, and he did beautifully.
Very
And so I
good.
think with just a little bit more work, I think he'll be completely
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Out in public, around other dogs. So-
Outside of activeness, maybe, is there like a specific kind of home or environment that you think is going to be best for him?
I think really kind of any. I think maybe right now, maybe not a really active, busy apartment complex where has to get on an elevator.
Sure.
Let's just maybe work on that dog reactivity a little
Yeah.
bit. But he, like I said, he loves the yard. So he, if you have a backyard, maybe you go to work during the day and you can't really take him for a long walk in the middle of the day, but he can go outside and run around the backyard. I think he'd be great with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and he's so gentle with everybody.
Okay.
I haven't seen him with small kids, but he's been great with older
Yeah.
kids, so I don't
Yeah.
see why. I mean, he does jump up to give kisses, but that
That's
can be
okay.
that's okay. I mean,
Puppy
who
loves good.
Who,
Yeah.
who doesn't love Who doesn't love that?
Exactly.
Right? Who doesn't love
What
that?
about,
So
do we know how he reacts with other animals like cats or something, like another household animal?
I don't think he has been cat tested yet,
Okay.
but we have volunteers that like to help out with that.
Sure,
So
something we
I'm
could
sure
do.
that we could get him cat tested really quickly.
Yeah. Why don't you remind people about how kind of the adoption process works with Austin Animal Services?
So every dog is on our website,
Yeah.
and it's austintexas.gov/ I think it still says Austin Animal Center, but
Yeah.
just do a search for us and it's pretty obvious. You can look up each dog, and whichever one you're interested in, just come on in.
Okay.
7201 Lavender Loop. We're open from 11 to 7, and just talk to customer service. Walk around, talk to customer service, click on the QR code, and you'll get all the information. And once you've chatted with one of our adoption counselors, we'll get the dog out and make sure it's
Yeah.
the best fit. It's
Yeah.
really kind of easy.
Yeah, and making sure it's the best fit. Is there like, let's say a trial period of sorts? Like, let's say I'm interested in Radar, but I'm not sure that I full on want to do this yet. I want to test him out in my home. Is there like a trial period we can take on?
Well, they can always foster,
Okay.
which we always encourage
Sure.
because that way you can, you're set up for success. We'll still support you, and any kind of medical issues, we'll support
Yeah.
that and cover that cost. And for the first 30 days, if it doesn't work out, you can bring the dog back.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
And it's a pretty easy process. After that, you'll have to get an appointment.
Yeah.
And that takes a little longer. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, we really do everything we can to set the dog and the human up for success, because
Yes.
everyone has to be happy.
Yes.
And, you know, we offer training vouchers and all sorts of support.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
speaking of fosters, I know you're kind of in need of them right now. You guys are
Yes.
calling for fosters to come and help out.
Yes.
Tell us kind of what you're looking for and how that works.
Right. So as you probably know, this weekend is going to be a pretty intense winter storm.
Yes, we're bracing for it.
Everyone's
yeah.
bracing for
Yeah.
it, right? So what we could use right now are blankets and little coats and jackets for the dogs.
Okay.
Please just bring them by.
Yeah.
If anyone here, any of my friends knows me, they can drop them off at my house and I'll bring them into the shelter. I'm not going to do my address on
please
TV,
don't.
but yeah.
Please don't.
So there's my call out. But bring them to the shelter, and also fosters. Please just get in touch with our foster. We have a foster application, and if you're already approved, you can just, just come in and ask to foster a dog. We do ask for a 2-week commitment. Because of the storm this weekend, I'm not sure if we're going to be holding to that.
Okay.
And that's not hard and fast. It's just sort of, please give the dog 2 weeks, hold on to the dog for 2 weeks. But because of the storm, we really want to do our best to get the dogs out of the cold shelter.
Yes, please,
and
please,
into
please.
a warm
Yeah.
home with a fire burning
Yes.
and some blankets and
Yes.
some love.
Yeah. Well, Kimberly, thank you for being here. We're going to find Radar a great
We
home. He's just the
are.
sweetest pup ever. And for more
He's
information,
lovely.
visit austintexas.gov/Austin Animal Center, or of course, follow them on social media at Austin Animal Services.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by the Business Influencer. Guys, our guest today is a holder of more than 150 patents, and he calls himself a dreamer who believes in transformation, especially when it comes to logistics. We're welcoming Shaker, the CEO of Orchestro.ai. So, Shaker, Austin became a tech hub because we wanted to be different from Silicon Valley, and now you're saying Silicon Valley's entire AI approach is wrong, which is really interesting. Are we making the same mistakes down here in Texas, just maybe with better barbecue?
That's a great question. So I think Austin is not Silicon Valley that makes better tacos. Austin is Austin, primarily because fundamentally it has done what like Silicon Valley has forgotten, which is like, how do we build patience? How do we build tolerance into the system? How do we build virtue into the system? What Silicon Valley is beginning to do more and more of, which is deeply concerning, is to be more reckless by the day. And so what I want people to understand, and that's why I'm here in Texas, is because Texas teaches you something. It teaches you patience.
And we are kind of a handshake state, it still is the old Southern, like, your word means something around here. AI makes billions of decisions, of course, without ever looking anyone in the eye as it exists online. Can code ever kind of keep up with that more virtuous handshake of Texas?
Well, we should ask why handshake matters in the first place. So what does handshake symbolize? It actually symbolizes trust. So you have to bring the trust back into the system. And that's what the handshake is for. Emphasizing that is important. And then we have to bring that notion of trust back into the system. How do you do that? You have to behave like a good human.
We've got Tesla here in Texas, we've got Oracle, we've got Samsung, they all moved down here, more freedom, fewer taxes, that kind of thing. You want to tell these big companies, slow down, add virtue. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I don't think Silicon Valley and California has lost because of its virtue. They didn't fail because of its virtue. They failed because they were actually trying to impose their virtue on others. To make, like you squeeze the system more and more, right? To do what? To sacrifice humans on the other side, or to not have humanity built into the system. That's like a wrong way of building a company. Like, you never build a company that transcends your time. And so that's fundamentally where like they have gotten it wrong.
I really appreciate your time today, Shaker. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Wonderful.
Learn more at orchestro.ai. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by the Business Influencer.
The best home and personal care products for 2026 aren't just smart, they're affordable too. From cleaner air to healthier meals and lower energy bills, these innovations are designed to improve your everyday life without breaking your budget. Ashley Howard and Alyssa Bergamini are standing by with the best products at the best prices and this week's epic discounts from consumer resource bestreviews.com.
Welcome to Epic Discounts by bestreviews.com. I'm Alyssa Bergamini.
And I'm Ashley Howard. Scan the QR code on your screen to get ready to save big. Today we've got 4 amazing home essentials, each designed to make life easier, healthier, and more convenient. First up, breathe easier with this powerful air purifier for home.
Perfect for bedrooms or large rooms up to 2,300 square feet. It features a washable pre-filter and true HEPA filtration to capture dust, pet hair, and allergens. With a sleep mode and an air quality control monitor, it automatically adjusts so you enjoy fresh, clean air all day and all night long.
Whether you have pets or just want a healthier home, this upgraded air cleaner makes a noticeable difference automatically. Now, one of my faves, make your home smarter and more comfortable with the Google Nest thermostat. I love this product.
And this smart programmable Wi-Fi thermostat, well, it learns your schedule and saves energy while keeping your home exactly the temperature that you want it at.
You can control it from anywhere on your phone and enjoy personalized settings that take the guesswork out of heating and cooling. Sleek, modern, and efficient. It's the ultimate upgrade for any home. Next, juice your way to wellness with this cold presser.
Its large feed chute lets you toss in whole fruits and vegetables with no chopping required. This juicer delivers a 99% juice yield, giving you more nutrition in every single glass. It's easy to clean, BPA-free, and perfect for those busy mornings, snacks, or homemade juice, really anytime that you want. Fresh, nutrient-packed juice, it has never been this simple.
Finally, bring the buffet home with this triple slow cooker buffet server with 3 1.5 quart pots, each with individual temperature control.
I know my sister, she's gonna love this product. Every set includes lid rests, spoons, and liners for effortless cleanup. This slow cooker set makes serving a crowd easy, convenient, and oh so delicious.
All right, let's take one last look at these must-have 4 products that make your home healthier, smarter, and more enjoyable.
That is right. Don't wait. Grab yours today. Head to epicdiscounts.com or just scan that QR code to scan, shop, and save with Epic Discounts by Best Reviews.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products mentioned and where to buy them by going to our website, KXAN.com, and clicking on the Marketplace tab.
Welcome back, folks. Integral Pilates aims to be a space for intentional movement, connection, community, and friendship. Joining us now are the founders, Marley Kimball-Johnson and Leg Gibbons. Y'all, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
It's wonderful to have you both here and on such an important week, too. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. But first, Marley, if you wouldn't mind, tell us about Integral Pilates.
Yeah, of course. So we opened our doors last week, South Austin, right next to Armadillo Den. And we opened the space to give mat Pilates opportunities, equipment opportunities. Right now we are offering 3 different levels of heat in the mat room. We are warmed by our infrared panels. And then in the equipment space, we currently have reformer Pilates classes.
Okay, reformer Pilates. That's what I know is really tough stuff, right? That's where you use the machines and the muscles are kind of jiggling just a little bit.
Right, all those pulleys and springs.
Yeah.
They come after your muscles.
And it's supposed to be really good for your body. So I told you off camera, I do think sometimes without a machine, I get a little bit confused on what Pilates is versus yoga. Can you just talk to me a little bit about the different approaches?
Yeah, so there are a lot of similarities between the two. I think the big difference when it comes to Pilates is that we're really working on controlling our in ranges. So when we're moving, even when we're dynamically stretching, we're also building muscle because we're controlling our ranges of motion.
Okay, interesting. And then leg, if you wouldn't mind, what makes Pilates different from other workouts, you know, high intensity or a big cardio run or something like that?
Yeah, unbiasedly, the control is so important. It's not so much about how many reps you do or how much you move, but about how you control your movements within that range, playing with time under tension, all of those things.
I feel like you two are just like two working muscles. But actually you guys met doing Pilates, right? That's how you became friends. So originally, Leg, you were taking classes from Marley.
I was taking from Marley.
And then you became an instructor yourself.
Later on, I became an instructor. We started doing continued ed together, went up to Colorado, and just continued learning. And we decided we could do this together.
I was gonna say, so when did you decide, let's do, you know, a studio together, Marley?
It's hard to pinpoint one moment in time. I think over time we had talked about how we wanted it. It was a dream, and then each day it became less of a dream and more of a reality. But whenever we started to tackle things like electrical and plumbing for operations side, and then we also found this passion of popcorning and making our classes together, building formats. There was just no world in which we didn't flow well together.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, congratulations to the both of you. And we are, Leg, going to put you to work, if you don't mind, you little co-founder you. So Marley's going to show us a little bit about what happens in a typical class, just in case someone hasn't been to Pilates before. So Marley, can you help us out?
Yeah, of course. So we've got her on her back. She's starting supine. That's just a fancy way to say she's on her backside. So we'll start here giving her the chance to find awareness with her containers. She has a pelvis, she has her ribs, she has a head. So just finding those in space before she starts to push down into her hands, down into her feet. She's gonna articulate as she lifts. Another fancy term to say she's gonna allow her spine the chance to find some mobility today, rather than feeling like it has to stay locked and rigid. And then as she comes back down, like a string of pearls, she'll land her spine back down on the mat. She'll give you one more of those, and then the next time I ask her to bridge, we're gonna change it up for her spine. Now we're gonna say neutral lift. I pick her up by her little suitcase handle right over her belly button, and now she's got a neutral bridge. So her spine is working as a unit rather than articulating bone by bone. Beautiful.
It looks gorgeous, and you can throw some tools into the mix too,
I sure
right?
could. So if I had someone who was letting their knees open really wide, I might say, hey, give this ball a hug so that we find a connection to your inner thighs. And now this is where we start to see how Pilates works your muscles as a symphony. We really want everything to recruit and come to the party rather than overcompensating with just one muscle. I think that's enough for you today, yeah?
Good job, Leg, good job.
From here,
I'll take the ball from you.
There we go.
But we're gonna have you flip positions, right?
Yes, so now we'll take her through a tabletop position, also known as a quadruped. And this takes time, right? She could just find this tabletop position and call it a day, but Leg's gonna put some intention behind it. So she starts to push the floor away so that she can really straighten her arm bones, starting electric energy from her blades all the way down through her fingertips. Then she'll think about her containers again. Where are her ribs in space? How is she holding her pelvis? Where is her head? Now we start to reach a right arm out. That's gonna make things a little bit more challenging. Then we're gonna reach her left leg out. This is what we call opposite arm, opposite leg reach.
Balance.
If she keeps thinking about the push through the left hand and the energy she's shooting to Rosie through her fingertips, the energy she's reaching with her toes towards me, this in itself is hard. If we want to add a little more movement, she'll take her wrist to the right and her ankle to the left. This is taking a new plane of motion into the mix. Frontal plane, gorgeous. And this right here will get you sweating just from thinking and connecting.
You're doing great, Leg.
I'm swagging.
One more rep, please, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Oh, good job. I can see the starting of this shake, and that's from two people who really, you know, do a lot of this. So I can see strength, and I think a lot of women, especially as we age, maybe we're not staying up to date so much on doing, you know, working with weights, that sort of thing. Even just this body weight workout is really strengthening, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Our bodies are resistance, you know?
Yeah.
We're pushing the floor away. I'm holding my own body weight. It's heavy. Our legs are heavy.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so you have your grand opening, right? Is that coming up this week?
It's happening right now.
It's happening right now.
It started yesterday. It will carry on until Sunday the 18th. We have so much going on. Local vendors popping up, a big variety. Just to name a few, we have permanent jewelry happening on Friday with Reem. And then Saturday we have a fine line tattoo pop-up happening. But there's so much more to look forward to. So if you just look over at our Instagram, you can get all of the details and the times.
Sounds good to me. And Leg, where can people sign up for your classes?
Apple Store, Integral Pilates ATX for all other users, integralpilatesatx.com.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Congratulations to the two of you on making a dream come true.
Thank you, Rosie.
I think it's amazing, and I'm gonna say it now. This is around the corner from where I live, so you guys might be seeing me. Come on! I didn't know that you were so darn close. We really appreciate your time today, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course. For more information on their classes and offerings, visit integralpilatesatx.com, or you can follow along on social media. As you heard, so much going on for their grand opening week at Integral Pilates ATX.
Apple TV's #1 show, Pluribus, takes you into a futuristic world where everyone shares one mind, and lead actress Ray Seahorn joins me now, fresh off her award wins in the last few weeks. Hi, Ray. How are you?
Hi, nice to be here. I'm good. Thank you.
So you play this amazing character, Carol Sturka. Tell me kind of what your immediate thoughts were of kind of playing Carol and getting to reunite with Vince Gilligan.
I read that first script and probably had the same reaction as most people that watched the pilot. I was like, this is bananas. But I also immediately saw that Vince wanted to really like take these wild swings, not just with genre defying, like, and using tropes from apocalyptic movies and sci-fi horror movies, all of it, but that also he was going to thread the needle with tone and keep, it's very, very funny. And then it's darkly psychological sometimes in the same scene. And I knew that was going to be fun, especially having collaborated with Vince. I mean, we're going on 11 or 12 years now, but I knew it was going to be challenging in the most blissful way to find that tone with him. And so we did a lot of the scenes, many takes, just looking for how comedic can you push this scene and how dark can you push this other scene, and before they can't live in the same world anymore. And it was really fun.
Yeah, I love that. Now, one of my favorite aspects of this show is that it kind of does this polarizing take on happiness and kind of like world unity piece, if you will. But your character is extremely suspicious of everything happening. So what do you feel like maybe you've learned from Carol on a personal level, and what's it meant to you to be so integral within this show?
It's been fun being so integral as far as like, I mean, I was very aware that I am the audience's entry point to go down the rabbit hole. Like I'm the one, taking them all around. And even though she's not handling it with grace often, what was most important to Vince and I was that she is a real person amidst a very unreal circumstance, because there is intense drama, but there's also many very, very, very funny moments that are born out of what if this was a real person? She's not super heroic. She's carrying around the burden of grief. And we try to keep all of these things very real about what would you do? As far as me personally, it made me think a lot. I'm not a misanthrope or a fault finder like Carol was before this event even happened, but I can sometimes forget to be totally present in a moment of joy because I'm already thinking about like, but what if this, or what if that, or maybe I need to wait till this, maybe I'm not allowed to enjoy this until XYZ. And it's a mistake. It's a mistake. Enjoy the tiniest little joys you can every day.
Yeah, living in the present, I think, is a hard thing for a lot of us. Now, something that I really, really love about your character is her relationship with her partner, Helen. And of course, we find out early on that she does pass. And it's interesting because I feel like we see you go on this journey of kind of grappling with grief while also accepting the terms of this new reality that you really don't have any control over. So as the actress in the show, what's it like for you kind of melding all that together? Because it's a really weird headspace to live in, I feel like.
Yeah, and thank you for saying that. And Miriam Shore, who played Helen, is just an incredible actress and an incredible human being. And we bonded very quickly. I had not met her before. I know her work. I know her brilliant work. But we wanted to make sure that that relationship had weight, not just while it's on screen, but because of the weight it carries for the whole season. Helen is still there. She's very present. And we had lots of conversations, Vince and I, as well as hair and makeup and costumes, about the reality of making sure that grief stays present. And most of us have been there, unfortunately. And grief is its own temporary insanity. It just is. It's like all bets are off about how one behaves. And it was important to us that she not get up and take a shower or put makeup on or do her hair. And she's sleeping on the couch for a while because it's too painful to go and sleep in the bed where her wife used to be. And we tried to keep that present. And then, as you mentioned astutely, it comes up against having to accept this new world, and even gets driven over a cliff when she's faced with living partially delusional towards the end of the season, to kind of accept, like, this is the only life I guess I'm going to have, because the counterpoint to that is the horror of just being alone in her house and just dying alone and never speaking to anybody again. It's horrific.
Yeah, well, it's an incredible show, Ray. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me.
Thank
Season
you.
2 coming soon, fingers crossed, and congrats on all the awards you've been receiving. We hope you get more.
Oh, thanks. Thank you very much.
We have a lot of fun here on Studio 512. If you missed any of our great segments, be sure to check out our website, where we like to post the fun things we do. Our feed covers content like arts and entertainment, food and drink, fashion and beauty, home and garden, stuff for kids and pets, as well as information from area experts. In addition, you can check out web-exclusive content that you can only find on Studio512TV.com. We also love to post behind-the-scenes funny moments, outfit inspirations, and more on social media. Find us by searching for Studio 512 on your favorite platform. You don't want to miss a single post. Be sure to follow us, check out our website, and watch us every weekday at 11 a.m. right here on CW Austin.